So the national record 12:53 belongs to Mo Farah. The world record 12:35 belongs to one Joshua Cheptegei. Set that in Monaco last year. Had the privilege of calling that race where he just kept clicking off lap after lap in around 60 seconds. And I know many people in the sport feel that the world record for 5,000 meters will, if not this summer, then next summer, go below 12:30. In other words, below 60 seconds per lap. Now, Andy Butchart moving very purposefully towards the front there. He was the sixth placer in the Rio Olympic Games, Butchart, from Central AC up in Scotland. Spends most of the year training at altitude. 13:06 performer. He's run 13:20 this year, but I rather fancy he's worth a lot quicker than that, Andy Butchart. He's a fabulous athlete. Well, that's a big pack moving down the back straight, and they're going through 400 meters there. 67.27. That is slow.
We are delighted to bring you a quick shot of Holly Bradshaw. Got Holly Bradshaw attempting 4:83 for a new British record. Fantastic. We saw Harry Coppell do this last year in the 2020 British Champs, but Holly Bradshaw joining in on the pole vault national record action there. And the bar has gone up to 490. It'd be fantastic if Holly can raise that even more. But back to the 5,000 metres. We've got Johnny Davis of Reading AC taking up the early running.
Yeah, 67.27 the first 400 metres. That is 14-minute pace. That is pedestrian for athletes of this calibre. And I'm glad that Johnny Davis has indeed moved to the front and started injecting a little bit of respectability to this one. 26-year-old has run 13:21. He's a good athlete, Johnny Davis. Andy Butchart, that barrel-chested running style of his and that yellow vest for his Central AC club, in fourth place at the moment. Pat Diva of Preston Harriers. I should be fascinated to see how he runs here. Personal bests at 5,000 metres and 10,000 metres in 2021 in the NCAAs. He's run 13:19, 27:41. He's already run a personal best at 1,500 this year, a 3:41. He's had a big season, Pat Diva. Moving down the outside, that Shaftesbury Barnet vest. Looking pretty comfortable. I think that was Charlie Higgs.
2:52 for that first kilometre. That's not really going to trouble any of these guys, but it is super hot. I did wonder whether we'd see some people going super fast in this race, but the conditions perhaps putting pay to that. It's Hugo Milner at the moment, happy to pile on the pressure at the front, but 3:52 for the first K won't trouble any of these guys.
Well, 2:52 for that first K. Here is Holly Bradshaw. She's already set a British record, a 67-second lap in that 5,000. Bradshaw in fabulous form. Oh, yes! Gets it again, nails it again, and Bradshaw now enters a new category of performance. She's gone 4:83, a British record. It was 4:82, now 4 meters 90. I spoke to her a couple of days ago in an online press conference, and she was asked if she has got 5 meters in her armoury or the potential, and she said, yes, absolutely, I've got to believe it. And a big hug there for her coach, Scott Simpson. They're a wonderfully successful pairing. He apparently spends all day working on the minutiae of improving her performances. And you can see what it means to her. Holly Bradshaw there, knocking on the door of 5 meters.
Fantastic jumping from Holly there. I think she was moving faster than these guys when she ran off that bed to go and celebrate with Scott Simpson. Still Hugo Milner leading from Johnny Davis, with Jack Rowe on the inside there. You can see Andrew Butchart with the blonde hair and his yellow vest there, the fastest PB in the field by some margin. Has that Olympic qualifying time.
Bradshaw, we understand, is calling it a day there, 4:90. I think she'll bank that and feel very satisfied. 2 British records on the day for Holly Bradshaw on that pole vault competition. So 3 abreast down the home straight with 8 laps to run now. 4.5 laps done for these men. It is uneventful so far, and it's pretty slow too, lapping at around 67 seconds.
Tie up that whole pole vault result there. It's a fantastic national record for Holly Bradshaw. What a way to prepare for the Olympic Games. Second place for Molly Caudry of 4:45, and Sophie Cook taking that bronze medal with a season's best of 4:25.
Well, they go through 2,000 metres at the end of this straight, just there. 5:37.32, a 65 lap, so that injects a little bit more respectability. 2:44 that second kilometre, and that means 5:37 at 2K, but it's still desperately slow, and that means they're on schedule for something around 13:45 now. It's I know it's warm, but you know, track and field athletics is a summer sport, and you have to get used to racing in the sun and running hard in the sun. Not that we've had a lot of opportunity to acclimatise in the last 3 weeks. The weather looked so set in yesterday, I thought it was going to be grim all weekend, but this is a dramatic contrast as this big pack continues to lumber around through this middle section of the race. Hannah, you were a 1,500 metre specialist, but do you think you had 5,000 potential?
No.
That's a great answer.
Mentally and physically, it was certainly not my forte. I would do the park runs and I'd cover that distance in training, but the mental fortitude I think it takes for 5,000, 10,000 in these longer races is really commendable. And you say it is good running conditions, but we often discuss just being plonked into good running conditions, getting a great day today. If you hadn't had the chance to train in that, it can sometimes still be disruptive. You know, these guys are probably running in temperatures right now that they may have experienced in the past month. We have had some great days, but they probably train in the evening, probably kept away from it because it is a bit brutal out there. I'm surprised not to see a drink station out the back. Yeah, the organisers weren't expecting for it to be quite this warm. We did see a drink station in some of the events last night. But Hugo Milner doesn't look like this heat's bothering him too much. He's been at the lead now for a while. The positions haven't really changed. Johnny Davis there in second. NCAA 10,000 metre runner champion Paddy Diva there on the outside in the blue vest. And Jack Rowe in his Aldershot Farnham district vest, tucked in just in fourth place.
Yeah, well, they're lapping in about 66 seconds. The last couple of laps have been 65 and 66. He's trying to stride out here and do a little bit of damage, and he will do. You just have to be patient. But that's still a big pack. What's some 18 men in that pack? There's only a couple of athletes have tailed off the back. They're beginning to drop away from the back. That's another 66-second lap. 2,800 metres in 7:50. So it's going to be, what, around 8:23, something like that, at 3,000 metres. And I think the athletes with the Olympic qualifying standard, like Butchart, aren't too bothered about making this fast. He doesn't need to do anything. Indeed, he might quite enjoy just testing his speed over the last 1,000 metres or so. Andy Butchart trying to steam away from them.
No, absolutely, Tim, I agree. I think it's not in Andy Butchart's... he doesn't need to make this fast, but practicing that really fast last 2K might be something that he could use as he moves towards that Tokyo Olympic Games, trying to make a final like he did in Rio. It was a fantastic run for Andrew Butchart in Rio, and he does look like he's in that sort of shape. It was a great 7:43 in Watford a couple of weeks ago, all on his own, and a little bit at the start of the race with some of the pacemakers, but largely on his own. And for the first time, we've seen Andrew Butchart pull out of the middle of the pack, move around the outside, as they swallow up Hugo Milner, our long-time leader, the tall Derby AC athlete, just drifting back through that group. It can be so hard when a field floods around you like that, but it is now Johnny Davis at the lead. You feel like Andrew Butchart is just biding his time. Are we going to see a big last mile from Andrew Butchart as they come through to 4 laps to go?
Well, there was a surge there, and now it's bunching again. Look, it's sort of 4x4 almost across that pack. They keep lapping in around 66.5 seconds, and that's around 13:45, 13:50 tempo. It's not quick. 3,000 was 8:24.36. 4 laps to go now, so a mile to run, and there's still about 15 men in that pack. A couple of athletes just beginning to drop away off the back of it. Liam D with Shaftesbury Bonnet Harriers is one of them.
Johnny Davis almost forced into the lead there when someone of the caliber of Andy Butchart starts making a move. You've got to respect that, and Johnny Davis did well to be alert and awake there, but this is a long way from home for the Reading AC athlete to be in the lead. Great personal best a few weeks ago for Johnny Davis, but at the moment he's leading this British Championship from Andrew Butchart. Jack Rowe has had a very quiet race there on the inside. Johnny Davis holding on to that lead. Obviously 3 laps to go, just 1,200 laps for these gentlemen as they come round. It's still a huge
meters.
pack. 1,200 metres, not 1,200
It's
laps.
the sun.
It might feel like it. Johnny Davis looking smooth in the lead there, but he's going to come under attack. He's got Sam Aitken on his shoulder there. Sam Aitken has the 10,000 metre qualifying time. Looking to show form as he wants to get selected for that 10,000 metres.
10:37, 3 laps to go. Now, will this be a burn-up? Will somebody make a long drive for the finish? Still Johnny Davis taking the bulk of the work, the Reading athlete out in front. The rest of them still chomping at the bit to go around him. Looks like Jack Rowe, the silver medalist last year in the colours of Aldershot Farnham District, towering over Jack Davis, and indeed Andy Butchart is in 3rd place. Butchart now on the shoulder of Davis. And moving around the outside, Milner is still there, and Atkin in the white, nicely poised. Beattie is at the back of the pack in blue. Davis, Rowe, Butchart, Atkin, Milner, Bradley and Beattie bring up the rear of this pack. Now 10 athletes there, and Charlie Hicks it is in 7th place in the Shaftesbury colours, into the last 800 metres now, and it is gradually whittling down. I don't think it's been a really significant injection, it's just so hot. Butchart now, almost like somebody pressed a button. 700 to go, kicks hard into the back straight, and immediately there is a shuffling and a panic in the pack as Butchart hits the front. Davies in the red has gone into his slipstream. Also there looking strong, Pat Deaver in the blue in 2nd place. Pat Deaver and Andy Butchart, they are the 2 high caliber performers in this one.
It was an aggressive move from Andrew Butchart, an aggressive reaction from Paddy Deaver and Johnny Davis. With Jack Rowe, on the other hand, he covered that move slowly, and he is right there as he comes into the bell. 3 into 4 for these medals. Andrew Butchart at the front, the Central AC athlete, hits the bell in 12:41.
Butchart it is trying to stretch away now. Deaver we know has got the big kick, dramatic finish in that NCAA's 10,000 metres just some 2 or 3 weeks back as Deaver goes into the back straight, 300 metres to run. Butchart now has just got to keep his head down but save something for the home straight. That is critical. You've got to eke it out here. How you spread your energies over this last 300 metres is absolutely critical. Look at the gap. It's opened back to Rowe and Davies. 200 metres to run. Still Butchart driving hard. We know he's in great form. He's got good speed. But Deaver is there dogging his heels in the slipstream of Butchart, gathering himself to move onto the shoulder of the Scotsman. Into the straight now. And Butchart driving for the line. Deaver trying to come past him. He's got so many races in his legs. Butchart cannot do it. He's beaten. Deaver is going to become British champion. On top of his NCAA title, takes it there, 13:37. And that last lap, well, I think it was around 55 and a half seconds. 2:26 that final kilometre. The winning time 13:37. Might be slow by international standards, but it has a real hue of respectability to it when you see the early tempo. Remember, 8:24 at 3,000. The 4th kilometre was passed in 10:04. That was a 2:40, the 4th kilometre. It was a little bit quicker, but Pat Deaver there